What's going on, everybody? Welcome to East Coast Throwdown, Community Throwdown. Yeah, we're back, partnered up with Facebook Gaming again. I am Brad Muse. Joining me today is Liston the Prince. How are you doing today, Liston?
I'm doing really great, and I'm happy to be back here again for more Community Throwdown and more Street Fighter / Guilty Gear Strive action. I believe
Yeah,
we're
two
starting with
hats
Street Fighter
today, two
5.
hats.
hmm
Yeah,
I think
so we got the Street Fighter V bracket already in progress. We got a couple of losers matches that we were going to be bringing you guys. The first one is going to be Dirty Sprite Tim versus Joe Ume Rogan. But to give you guys a little bit of context for what's going on in the bracket, the winner of that plays Space Boy to make it up into the losers semis, where they will play the winner of either Sayff or Hardman. Waiting up in winners finals is iDom versus Zaferino.
Oh yeah. Like we went through most of the bracket, and if we actually looked at the bracket, it was pretty stacked. We had a lot of players.
Yeah,
Like you said, Hardman and Safe, two names. No Need was in the bracket too. The
right.
Anthrax is in the bracket. Arturo was in the bracket.
Right. Arturo was in the bracket out just outside of top 16. No, not top 16. Yeah, actually out in top 16 as I double check it.
Yeah, Flux as well. Flux Waves as well.
Oh,
There were a lot of players in this bracket, but we're down to these what is it, 6 players? Just about
something like that.
five
And I
players, something like
mean,
that. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
and a lot of these players are, obviously standards that you'll have seen playing around in the
Hmm.
online space forever. We've seen Space Boy at these brackets. We've seen Joe Rogan. We saw Joe Rogan with a great
I,
top 8 run up at
I'm not
CEO
sure.
this past weekend.
Oh, it definitely. And I'm really anxious to see Man's play once again. But you know what?
Mm,
Besides for Joe Rogan, I've never seen the name Dirty Sprite Tim, and Dirty Sprite Tim just beat No Need to Talk.
right.
And that's
Yeah, so
not an easy victory for
no.
any of these players.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be curious. It's always nice and interesting when you see these names that are perhaps a little bit newer to you, and
Mm.
you see them in a spot in a bracket where you're like, oh, okay, why am I not familiar with you? This doesn't seem fair. I need to get some eyes on this, and I think the intention right now is that we are going to get some eyes on this. I imagine that we're trying to get the players loaded up into the lobby.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Yeah, I have no idea what character this player uses. Joe Rogan, as we saw this past weekend,
Right.
used the Akuma. I know that they also play a bit of Guile. I've seen it happen before,
Okay.
but it's been mostly the Akuma as of
Yeah, that's
late.
certainly what I know them for.
Yes. Um, Now going through the rest of the bracket, Space Boy, the Sakura has been using some Akira. Actually, hit me up for some
Oh,
Akira
really?
combos, the launcher combos,
Okay.
for
What do you
to
think of
know what
Akira?
the.
What do you think of
To,
Akira?
I think she's a very fun character because she has a very good mix of options and whatnot. Especially depending on
Hmm.
what you want to go with, right? I personally go with the V skill too, with Daigo,
Okay.
with Brother Daigo assist, right?
Sure.
'Cause I like the damage, right? Other players who like I'd prefer the store to get more of a neutral game going, right? And then or
Okay.
maybe increase your damage from the regular combos, whatever you want to do, right? But you can
Hmm.
play it differently depending on how you want to play. That being said, she does have some issues getting in,
Okay.
but I think her damage and her Oki is good to cover that. If you can land a hit, then you can
Right.
start running your game. Play some
Yeah.
Street Fighter 5.
Right. Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? Is like I perhaps unfairly, I think a lot of characters in this game, once they do get that hit and they get in that, the range that they want to be in to start chaining those +2 situations that are so
Mhm.
prevalent in Street Fighter, as long as they have the walk speed that sort of affords them the opportunity to play that strike throw game, they can function, right? Like if you
Yeah.
have them in the hands of the right player. I mean, Chris G played Akira through all of CEO last weekend. Interestingly enough, not using the Daigo V trigger, instead using the other V trigger,
Yeah.
just so that he could continue generating those additional turns of like, cool, well, now I'm going to cash it out, and making
Mhm.
this different approach to the stagger game, in the face of that. Oh, We did all this talking about Joe Ume-Rogan and Dirty Sprite Tim. We have the update. Dirty Sprite Tim lost to Joe Ume-Rogan. We are not going to be able to show you that. What we are instead going to show you is the winners finals with iDom versus Zaferino. I'm going to be really excited to watch this one. I know you were talking about before you went live that assuming Zaf plays the Sagat, you are of the expectation that iDom will pick Poison into Sagat.
Yeah, I think Poison covers most of the characters that maybe Zaf would play. Zaf obviously is a Sagat player, so there's highly likely he's going to go with Sagat. But then even the other characters that he could go to, maybe he'll go to Akuma. You know, I've seen Zaf play Akuma a couple times.
Yeah,
I've seen him play Cammy. Right. I think Poison does well against those characters also.
Yeah, I think what I was struggling with is I was trying to remember. I feel like I have seen Zaf play one other character comparatively recently.
I can't really think of what character. Well, it doesn't really matter what other character because he's going with the tried and true. He's going with the Sagat. You know, when in doubt, you go with your best character. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, absolutely. All right, cool. XSET's own iDom. Show some love to iDom getting that sponsorship locked down in these last couple of weeks. Zaferino here on the P1 side, immediately starting out with this zoning game. iDom playing pretty passively in the beginning.
Yep. I mean, before Poison really gets the meter for the EX heal, she obviously she can win the fireball game with trades, but before that, you know, like she kind of has to lose damage with these trades.
Right.
So
oh no, a little bit too far away.
Kind of free to throw out high and low tiger shots at max range.
All right, there we are. The Kara Tiger Knee working out this time, going for the chase down. Not even the chase down. Zaf just fearlessly walking iDom back towards mid-screen, ever so slightly out of range of that crouching fierce. But this is still so tough. The Kara Knee working out again, and now we've got the corner pressure.
Yeah, but like iDom's so on point, not even willing to give him the satisfaction of getting a guard. No, we're gonna end that right now. And the thing is though, Poison builds meter pretty freely in this matchup, so you don't have to be stingy with it.
Oh god, it's one more guess for stun maybe?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh, that was such a brave wake-up jab, but iDom with the counter poke stands short. No resources to close out. So Zaf is going to get one more guess. The counter hit. I know so commonly in that situation, your fear is the back throw, especially looking at Zaf fully loaded on resources.
Yeah. But
one's tendency would be like the delay back throw.
Yeah. iDom gave him both looks. First it was the patient play of like navigating the screen slowly and then going back to neutral. And then it was straight offense. In the next round. Which Poison are we going to get to see this game?
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, we're still standing right at that, or just outside of that stand fierce, crouch fierce range. But Zaf, I think, is doing a slightly better job of generating threat and forcing iDom back into the corner than we saw in the last game. Zaf really was willing to surrender space to stay outside of that range in the last game.
Yeah. All right, but Zaf already has a decent corner situation now. Now you gotta be wary of getting hit into trigger. You also have to be wary of the EX bar at the bottom.
Okay, the EX bar from Zaf gets him in. We see a shimmy, no bite from iDom, but we get the trigger activation. Deal with the plus frames. Nice throw tech from Zaf. The charge, but the V shift gets out. Oh, I got armor, son!
Oh. And Zaf got a little bit greedy with trying to go for the max damage here. I think if he did Kara jab DP with a combo, but it looked like he missed the Kara.
Okay, we got meaty tiger shots in the way. Zaf empty jumping, but so little life here, not going to be able to really get through anything. We saw the V-skill store, so if iDom does elect to jump, it's going to be a fair bit of damage, but there's so little time left on the clock.
On top of that too, like time was a factor, plus the fact that iDom was getting a full CA. You didn't have a viewer or anyway to get out of that situation. That was also scary. Already sent life down. Super brave tech from iDom there.
Oh, a lot of respect from Zaff, the bravery of that crouch jab, but overcommits after the standing short. The DP gets blocked. iDom with a back throw reset to take the corner position. Fully loaded on resources, the fireball trade. That's not dissimilar to what you and I were talking about, where as a Sagat player, sometimes you have to really lab out those specific situations. I feel like Zaff throwing that EX Tiger there through the Molotov is exactly one of those really practiced situations.
Yeah, like it's a way you get rid of the projectile on the screen while still doing damage. But unfortunately for Zaff, he's not in a situation where he can dictate the pace anymore. But as I say that,
he's trying so hard to open up iDom. He finally does. You could see when he went for the throw that got teched the first time, you saw that little, he waited in crouch for a couple of frames there to be like, hey, please, I'm trying to make you do something. You should be watching for counter hit setups, but iDom is just too good.
All right, and Zaff kind of switched gears. A lot of walking forward in and out of like max focus ranges. iDom, he has basically a 60% life. It's gonna be some work to get his life lead back.
That is a lot of gray life, which makes that a pretty big low forward there for Zaff.
Oh no.
Ooh.
No V-shift maybe a predictive one.
I mean, even if it was predictive, if you V-shift back from like crouch fierce, if you V-break, will you connect? I don't know if you're too far away to connect with the break and earn the knockdown.
Well, Sagat does have one of the longer ones because it's kind of the same animation as Tiger Spike, right?
Okay.
Which is a very long kick. So even if he doesn't travel forward that much, you might be able to, but I'm not really sure about max range down fierce. I don't know. I know that if you're like 60% of the screen away, if you V-shift the fireball, you would connect with the V-break on the person that threw it. And
okay,
that's
so
a very similar
maybe. Yeah, it sounds like
it's
maybe.
Highly possible it would work. Yeah.
But that still feels like a really gutsy read to make in that moment, especially when you already spent one of your V-bar on a V-reversal earlier, and you're ending up in a...
Or necessary, depending on how you want to look at it. Like, maybe the situation was kind of looking dire, and he needed to get a knockdown and get the push forward. And plus, if it hit like that, even though forward dash on a V break is -2, you're very far away when you do that forward dash. So the person waking up wouldn't have the ability to properly challenge with like a jab or anything like that. So you'd kind of push them back and get to take space as well.
Yeah, and they were very near the corner, so Zaff is historically, I think, the kind of player that is not afraid to make those big value plays.
Yeah, I think he was looking at the big picture. Like, I need to get this knockdown. I need to push him back towards the corner. I can't win in the mid screen, but I can win in the corner. Maybe this is
okay.
Talking about the birdie.
Yeah, trigger to birdie. Now I know he talked about this a lot. He liked the chain trigger for a lot of the mid-range control and giving him that different tool. But I don't know how it's going to end up working out. I mean, you can armor through the whips. You can maybe try to make a hard read and dolphin over like a crouch fierce or something.
Yeah, I mean, birdie has a lot of tools. Like you said, the armor, the dolphin is another tool. Birdie gets rewarded heavily for those big plays. Like now, if he lands a standing fierce or standing roundhouse, that's gonna be oof.
Yeah, but look at how patient iDom immediately ends up being, right? Like, iDom isn't gonna make that call, completely willing to take that throw if Zaferino had actually walked all the way in. I think that's part of why Zaff keeps getting these like really long walks in that are just completely unimpeded, and it's because iDom is in that defensive spot of like, you know what, I really don't care what you're doing, because if it's not throw, I'm blocking. Oh, so awake.
Yeah, like the perfect punish. Like usually somebody would do like a jump there. Like if they were directly looking for that, but you can tell he wasn't exactly looking for that only. He's probably looking for like if he actually jumped, so I'll be ready for anti-air. but
Right.
was still able to like come up with a suitable punish.
Okay. Standing medium kick. The jump back had the read on the V shift, but didn't quite get a punish out of it. A little too far away on that jump in with Zaff. And there's the trigger activation from iDom, who's going to cash out into some damage here. Back throw right into the fire. Zaff was not ready for the tech.
Right. Puts out the can. I love that iDom did that. iDom purposefully just hit the can early, so the can is not there anymore.
Yeah, I have to assume that the can is maybe part of the pick for the matchup, right? That like you throw out the can and it's this thing that will trade with the Crouching Fierce. But like you're saying, iDom is kind of steering into it to remove it from being a threat in specific spots and is able to close out the round.
Yeah, I'll take the hit early, so the can isn't there anymore. Let's continue playing the game I want to play. Like,
yeah,
willing to sacrifice just a minuscule amount of damage, just to have maximum reward in space.
Yeah. And with the life lead that you had, you don't have to worry about the little bits of health that you end up losing in those exchanges. It's just like, you know what? This health is worth the amount of control that I maintain over the screen, especially because, you know, as Zaff gets more and more hectic, he runs the risk of like overextending and making some other kind of a mistake as he tries to push into it. So Zaff is going to drop down into the losers finals. We do have the update on the losers semis. SpaceBoy took it 2-1 over Joe Umerogan, which means we're going to have Sayff versus SpaceBoy to earn the spot in the losers finals against Zaff.
Yeah, and plus, like, going back to the can, if you let the can go unimpeded, now you have to block the can, or you have to deal with it up close. Maybe jump. Now, if you jump forward, you get anti-aired. Now you're in a mix-up situation because the anti-air leaves you point-blank range. And now you have to guess between strike / command grab, whatever situation happens afterwards. You might, if it's strike, you get pushed towards the corner. Now you're in the corner, and that situation
and
just keeps on piling.
And if it's command grab, you eat the command grab, and nobody wants to do that.
Exactly. You're gonna take a lot of damage. You still got to take like a strike afterwards. Not exactly like a throw mix-up, but you take some kind of mix-up afterwards. But if you hit the can right now, I lose like 10 damage for hitting the can.
10 damage. You're still all the way over there. It only has so much hit stun. I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, it's like yeah, whatever. We're good again. You know.
There's so much control over that matchup, and that's a matchup that I feel like I've seen iDom playing before, and it's a play that I've seen him make where you know, and not just him, other great poisons, like watching Fluxwaves play their poison into that matchup, and not dissimilarly, you know, you see the same thing, right? Like, all right, the can will be a problem, but I can choose to not let it be a problem.
Exactly. I think that's the difference between like great players, like the strongest players, the cream of the crop, the top 10%, so to speak, right? And then the mid players, or the players on the cusp of being within the top 10%. Like, just that decision of, you know, maybe a lesser player would be like, I don't want to take this damage, or maybe I want to like jump over it to try to punish it that way, instead of like, but then a stronger player is going to look at it this way: I'm not going to jump over it. That's gonna cause a situation that's gonna start steamrolling me, that can possibly put me in danger, right? I'm not gonna put myself in a 50-50 situation, the bad 50-50, not like, oh, I'm mixing you up with a 52 options. No, there's a 50% chance I'm gonna lose here, right? And I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna take this little damage. Now your options are completely gone.
Yeah, and there's no reason to do that, right? You can sit there. The 10 damage is so preferable. It's like the game theory of it, approaching the game theory of it. Hi, sweetheart.
Who's manning them on your back?
This is my cat, Pipaka. She loves to hang out while I'm commentating. She just got very comfortable. So she's a Street Fighter fan. I think she's probably really excited to see this next match. Now, we talked a little bit about SpaceBoy. We know SpaceBoy with the Sakura. You talked about exploring Akira a little bit. I remember there was a slight tryst with Seth for a little while as well, but we really only see the Seth come out in very specific matchups. And to be completely honest, and with no
Seth versus Urian, there's certain things you can do in this matchup that other characters can't. For
Yeah,
instance,
so that was going to be the question I asked. Was I am not as familiar with Sayff, so I didn't
if you
know.
knock down Urian with Seth, you can
Okay,
just press it down. Is it down? You can press down roundhouse, or is it down kick?
okay,
The kick, the anti-air looking kick thing.
okay,
Yeah, that kick where Seth kicks upward, and for
okay.
some reason, it will low profile an EX headbutt on wake up, and is
That's
only
messed up.
negative punish that. So if you want to just completely negate, without doing any, you just negate his ability to wake up with anything,
Hmm.
button, backdash, jump, EX headbutt, you just meaty down roundhouse every time, and that's gone.
That's so interesting. A catch.
I
s-
saw, you know where
Oh,
I saw that? I
do
saw
tell.
Momochi do that to Nemo, and Nemo can do
Ooh.
anything.
Oh, that's messed up. Nope, it's gonna be the Sakura though.
Hmm.
Maybe Space Boy hasn't seen the tech.
To each their own.
Oh, the dash under catches the low profile. Space Boy with the stand strong, and now we're straight back into the corner. Oh, the back throw from Sayff though. And we got the control. Smart backdash from Space Boy.
And the ability to fight all the way back from the corner, there was a bit of challenging in that corner.
Oh, there's that V skill activation though. And Space Boy
I like-
forced to spend that EX bar to try to resolve the ground situation.
Yeah, I think it was a good call though. It's like, oh, let's get rid of this extra frame advantage, and we're gonna make the situation equal again, so to speak. But that life bar definitely was not equal in any way.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like Space Boy got the better of two really important interactions there. Okay.
Oh, no anti-air. I think Space Boy is good at really reading the pace of the match and just switching gears quickly.
Wow. So Space Boy's buffers are usually really good, but standing short immediately into a standing roundhouse is like, you're mashing something, aren't you? I don't need to buffer off the standing short. Now we got the V-trigger activation. The back throw is going to get the stun with one bar and trigger. I think that's done.
No, it's not the kill yet.
Aegis Reflector gets clipped low.
All right, not gonna go for a left-right mix or anything like that. Still though, it's possible for Sayff to make a comeback here. Not, but like Space Boy seems to be switching up the pace of it.
Yeah.
Never mind. As I said that, I thought when Space Boy was backing away just to get more of a zoning game, it wasn't really to zone. It was to get the frame advantage to double dash in.
Yeah. I think even Sayff's best case scenario there, right, was like a two-touch that specifically did not involve throws. Like you had to get two strikes. If Space Boy was going to be willing to just sit there and take the throw, it was going to be really difficult for Sayff to open him up.
I agree. Because the second you do the throw, Space Boy's out. Then you got to read the Space Boy. Are you going to DP? Is he going to press the button? Is he going to jump away? Is he going to backdash? Is he going to D-shift?
Yeah, those standing short buffers from Space Boy still so good. Sayff having to utilize that low forward a little bit more now. In the last round, it was a lot of like Coral Punch into headbutt, but it stopped working. Oh, there's the attempt at Coral Punch into headbutt, but the Fireball game now is a poke blowing it up. I'm sorry, sir. You hit something that was not down back. Is this going to be a stun? It is. We're not going to be able to kill, though?
Pretty close. Anything will do it now. Oh, the shimmy worked out, but a little bit too.
Yeah, oh my god. Space Boy held the hell out of some back to walk out of that shimmy. V-reversal gets him out.
Oh, that was unfortunate. Sayff actually landed a counter poke that hit into the mirror, but a little bit too far to convert. I'm not really sure what Sayff could have done there. Maybe a forward strong.
Yeah, I'm not completely sure either. I think there's an element to which, right, that like what you do is not be in that situation. The Brave dash forwards, but Space Boy still lets the Fireball rip.
Yeah, it's still plus from the Fireball situation. Sayff. Oh, that's good eye to punish that. She does have one of the better, maybe the best 4-frame punish in the game.
All right, Sayff is really opening up this fireball game a little bit, I think, to try to make something happen, and has actually a decent spot here, but SpaceBoy is going to be looking for a V-trigger activation.
There goes the anti-air I was looking for. Oh, and SpaceBoy finally left the rip with the EXTP. I think SpaceBoy is good for those.
Oh, yeah.
Possibly, you know what, like, it looked like SpaceBoy got hit straight in the face. Maybe he tried to walk underneath it.
Yeah, we had seen that represented in the first round, I think, where he just walked underneath and got, like, the standing strong anti-air. Oh, nice counter hit confirm off the crouching jab.
Oh, I love the timing differences on the fireballs. Like, sometimes SpaceBoy is holding it to get extra frame events or just letting it rip.
Yeah, it's making this very difficult stagger game for Sayff to deal with. Sorry, sir, you do not get those stores for free.
Nope. Oh, and also a character like Urena that jumps very high. Certain situations like that, he can't really, unless you predict the fireball, you can't really just jump in.
Jesus, SpaceBoy, what did this man do to you? He gets away with the jump in right there? Okay, SpaceBoy.
Yeah, as I was saying before, like, SpaceBoy is really good at just switching gears. Like, okay, I'm playing this fireball game and I'm playing this zoning game, complete control in the corner. Maybe I'm just gonna jump right now because you're not looking for a jump. You're looking to get it.
Yeah, there was the scientific method at play there, like the amount of just standing fierce into charge fireballs. Like, oh, you're really just holding some down back. Let me do it again. Oh, you're holding some down back. All right, you're definitely gonna counter poke this time. I'm not gonna full charge the fireball. Wow, you're really letting me do this. Fine, I'm gonna jump in. And Sayff was so not ready for it, so comfortable waiting on the down back and being like, I literally cannot take this chance, that by the time Sayff went to try to anti-air, it was too late, got counter hit for the game.
No, I agree. I think SpaceBoy also did a great job of just figuring out. Maybe they play each other a lot, but just kind of had a real understanding of what Sayff was looking for at a given like notice or any particular time. It was like, okay, I know Sayff is probably going to be careful. Like you said, charging the fireballs point blank range. You can press anything at that range. Right. You could have did anything.
Yeah, let alone on a Shoto kit who has a good standing short. Sakura's low forward isn't bad. Her walk speed is great, so she's got these other things that she can pull into the equation. Loading up into the losers finals already here is SpaceBoy, whom we've just seen, and Zaferino. Is Zaf going to keep it locked with the Sagat, or are we going to try something else into the Sakura?
I mean, Zaf definitely has a couple of characters in Tool Belt. Has the birdie now, but I feel like Sagat is a safe choice here for him.
Yeah. I usually agree. It's just I've been surprised before. I've been hurt before, Liston.
That's true, but you know what though? This is not like this is a matchup that Zaf is comfortable in doing. They've played each other many times in tournaments, multiple tournaments, and this is a pretty good pick.
Yeah, I mean, we went purely online nearly 2 years ago, and these guys have both had multiple collisions with one another across these East Coast brackets. Zaf with the slight life deficit here. Oh no, a little too far away for the Tiger Knee, or perhaps expected something else to come out and counter hit. SpaceBoy with the V-trigger activation. Oh no, walks into the fireball, but once again, Zaf bringing out just slightly the wrong tools. The big jump in though.
Damage, but unfortunately the max damage was kind of far. It's a bit finicky sometimes going for that forward roundhouse.
Oh, spends the EX. SpaceBoy trades back with the EX of his own. SpaceBoy with the ability to charge this fireball, I feel like proves difficult here for Zaf, in that if SpaceBoy spends the one bar, can charge the fireball behind it, and Zaf has to cash out multiple bars to stay a threat in the fireball game if SpaceBoy just spends the one. Economically, it's in SpaceBoy's favor.
It goes for the safe jump. Oh yeah, that's a safe jump. You can't do anything about that. I'm not really sure what SpaceBoy tried to do there, to be honest with you.
Respecting the low forward, the crush counter working out. Now Zaf back in the corner. The throw game is starting. Oh, Zaff did something after the standing short, and he should not have. Next hit for stun. Blocks the DP.
That's gonna be game 1 in favor of SpaceBoy. I think Zaff tried to regular DP through it, through standing through fireball.
Oh, you think?
I feel like because the EXDP came right afterwards, and I think that Zaff tried to do regular DP and it got stuffed by the fireball. Then he probably thought to himself, I should have EXDP.
Oh, interesting.
Round 1.
Maybe. That would make sense. There has been a tendency from SpaceBoy, at least on block, to go into these variable fireball timings. So
Yeah.
that would have been an interesting call.
I mean, probably, and plus Zaff was in the corner. He probably felt it was necessary to just even get her off to even start playing the game, because he had V trigger as well. So afterwards, it's not like landing a button at the trigger was a good call. You get 300 damage there.
It's once again, I continue to be intrigued that like SpaceBoy can keep getting the better of these fireball interactions so long as Zaff doesn't have or is unwilling to spend the EX bar, because SpaceBoy can just charge the fireball and sort of win out that way.
Yeah. And also,
I
like,
mean,
when
with
she
respect to
goes
the zoning and the fireball interaction, Zaff obviously sitting on a very healthy life lead in this round.
All right, but SpaceBoy. Oh, never mind. You know what? I feel like SpaceBoy probably anticipated like a late tech or maybe a back roll or something like that. Try to like delay the string, but Zaff just woke up with an immediate throw. Right, Zaff is the one on offense now, probably for the first time to have really sustained offense, and that quickly gets cut short by SpaceBoy.
Yeah. Well, it's not the first time. Obviously, when we were watching him up in winner's side against iDom as well, in that game too, started to find a rhythm, started to be more willing to actively threaten space. Oh, going for the jump in. SpaceBoy, okay, that neutral jump had to be some sort of cheeky read thing, right?
Yeah, maybe he just wanted the air to air. Didn't want to take, because it seemed like Zaff was kind of jumping at a range where you're not sure if an empty jump is coming or if around us is going to be hit. So he probably just wanted to mitigate that situation, but completely did not work out.
All right, SpaceBoy, just barely absolutely has the life lead now off of this series of throws. Trigger activation. Oh, a big jump in. Zaff should be able to close this out with that, and he is. A second game goes to Zaferino. 1 game apiece now.
Yeah, with a pixel life, and you gotta admire the stubbornness of Zaff, because that combo into forward around us missed the first time, and was like, nah, this is the right thing to do. I'm gonna go for it.
That's one of those, like, if you have a combo that will kill, but you only land it 50% of the time, do you do it in tournament?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, no, this is the right call. It's gonna do the most damage. I should do this, whether I dropped it or not. You know, like the ability to not be dissuaded by your mistakes.
Yeah. And I think when Zaff is really on, Zaff is like that. When Zaff is really on, he trusts his reads and his gameplay. When Zaff gets tilted, it looks really bad. And if what we're seeing today is a Zaff who believes in his play, then I think that's a great spot to be in. Unfortunately, not a great spot to be in is back against this corner here with SpaceBoy having a life lead once again. Round going to SpaceBoy.
In your play, SpaceBoy definitely believes in his play as well.
He's absolutely had a read on the utilization of that Standing Fierce. We've seen so many big party starters coming off of SpaceBoy Standing Fierce.
Oh yeah, not enough frame advance to punish that fireball. Oh, and the really deep anti V skill DP. Ooh. A little bit too high to actually get a combo from the short. Doesn't have a lot of frame advantage on it. But SpaceBoy in prime position to possibly take this game.
Yeah, that was a rare SpaceBoy caught Zaff slipping with the crouch strong, but was a little too far away. Actually, SpaceBoy a whole lot this round has been just too far away from these whiff punishes. Has the read on when Zaff is going to hit the button, but is absolutely whiffing on the execution in terms of where he needs to be.
And Zaff seemed...
Oh!
That was an awkward situation to be in. Oh, didn't pull the trigger on the hit confirm.
Again, Zaff keeps trying this V-shift thing. It's what you had called out in the last game against iDom. The wake-up jab works out for Zaff into the trigger activation. Doesn't even need the trigger. Closes out the round. Yeah, it's exactly what you were talking about when we saw the attempt at a V-shift against iDom.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta use the tools. It was a scary spot to use those tools, and he was punished a couple of times for it. You gotta find a way to bring him out. But SpaceBoy still in a very good spot to take this. He has the corner situation. Almost a brave tech from Zaferino. Had to tech actually.
Oh my god.
It was safe jump.
Yeah, that second tech was Galaxy Brain though. I was not ready for the second throw in that shimmy.
Alright, aggressively takes the turn back on that -2 with a walk-up throw. That's still very dangerous. One standing medium kick or standing fierce could be a lot of damage.
Yeah. Alright, there is the trigger activation from SpaceBoy now. Oh my god, so many dashes from Zaff. Wants to get a little bit more space, but now any hit should do it if SpaceBoy gets it, but Zaff opening up the party first. Really low on resources here. If SpaceBoy is able to navigate all this bullet hell here.
Oh, good block on the low. Yep.
Ooh.
And not a lot of options there too, because she not only does she have a slight life advantage, the life advantage wasn't really the biggest part of it. It was the meter advantage, and the fact that Sagat didn't have any life and 0 meter as well. But yeah, still very strong play from both players. But SpaceBoy is up 2-1.
Yeah. So with us going back to the lobby again, is Zaff just taking a breather, or are we about to see a character switch?
Maybe the birdie,
I don't necessarily know. I don't necessarily know what character I want for him to switch to. I feel like what's happening here is less to do with the character and more to do with the fact that SpaceBoy is just doing a really good job of blowing up Zaff for his counter-poking tendencies.
I mean, at certain points of the matchup, Sagat kind of wins in a way, but then when it gets later in the matchup, when Sakura has resources, she kind of wins.
All right, well, we do see the switch to the birdie here. SpaceBoy already being much more patient on the ground.
Yeah, like the thing is, like birdie gets way more reward for some of the bigger pokes. Yeah, like that standing strong, you don't want to get hit by that.
No, not at all. But SpaceBoy's already doing a really good job of using that standing short, relying much more on it here than we saw in the Sagat matchup in order to blow these limbs up. Oh, the sweep goes unpunished.
Yeah, missed input. Probably tried to do it like an EX blowhorn or something like that. Alright, it's looking kind of rough for Zaff. I'll try to do
went for... Yeah, it didn't quite work, but just the brave walk forward throw, and it is set point here for SpaceBoy up over Zaferino.
Yeah, like...
I'm not believing in this birdie.
Neither is SpaceBoy.
Oh, crouch jab right into the throw. I'm sorry, son. No, don't let it happen like this. That is...
The dash out, yep. Goes for the max damage. Is he gonna wake up EXDV again? No. Oh,
nope, waited, but it did come out. You had the read. You were just early. Sweep activate here from SpaceBoy. The crouch jab to keep Zaff honest. Finds the punish on the whiffed command grab.
Oh, he's dead.
found the space to cash out the 1 extra EX bar and close it out. Zaff is going to go home with 3rd place, and SpaceBoy earns the shot up in grand finals against iDom.
Yeah, and then you can kind of see like a bit of unfamiliarity with the character too, because even the combo choice that Zaff went for and it missed at the end got him punished with an EXDP for whiffing it there. Yeah, like it's these little things that a person that played the character for a number of years wouldn't make that mistake in that situation.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Zaff is, I mean, anyone who's watched any of Zaff's content, right? Because Zaff is obviously, as well as being a great player, is a content creator, a regular streamer. And one of the things that I think Zaff does really well is Zaff, not dissimilarly to you, because we were talking about, you know, your approach earlier, is one of those players who really breaks down and labs out individual scenarios. And I think that sort of understanding and approaching the matchups in that way is a lot of what really brings all the pieces together for Zaff. And the difficulty with that is when you've not played a character long enough, and especially when you're not warm with that character, it ends up being a rough look. Like I've seen him, you know, pull out the cami in a pinch, and you can just, it doesn't, you can tell immediately that it's not the cami that Zaff wants to be playing, because he's not warm with all of these decisions. He's not warm with the way he wants to approach things. He's not warm with the execution or the combo choice like you had just called out. And it just ends up being, I think if you're going to play multiple characters to supplement your bad matchups, I think those other characters need to be warm, right? You need to have them ready. Like iDom switching between Laura and Poison is seamless. Fluxwave's pulling out Poison versus Mika is seamless. When Zaff switches off of Sagat, it always immediately feels a little bit desperate. Going here into the grand final, SpaceBoy coming up from the loser side and is rocking the Akira.
I actually played iDom in this matchup yesterday.
And how did that go? What do you think of Akira versus Poison?
Well, as a Sagat player / Akira player, not great for Sagat. So having the ability to walk in and out like this with her foot speed, great. Having the ability to Oki, great as well. The damage output, great as well. So everything that I don't have with Sagat in this matchup, she has. So I don't think it's terrible, because you can land a hit and win.
Right. I get what you mean, right? Like Poison is. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that being said, I think Akira has problems getting in on Poison.
Yeah, I mean, SpaceBoy has basically gotten nothing here except slowly walking iDom towards the corner. But then every time iDom recognizes that his back is to the corner, he starts more forcefully taking space. Here, finally back against the corner, but SpaceBoy seems perhaps a little bit uncomfortable with how much space to give up and how to structure your shimmies here.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, and then really like was kind of really saving, you know, the Daigo call, and you can do it on block, but I wouldn't advise it too much, because basically you want to land a hit.
Yeah, I think it's definitely more associated with either cashing out for damage or cashing out into a mix-up. SpaceBoy gonna have a really hard time trying to walk forward now. Yeah. Stun continuing to mount. Plus frames. Push the shimmy, no bite.
Yeah, iDom like was trying to target that V trigger. Oh wait, hold on. Nice delay, gets a little extra frame advantage. Forward dash. Yeah, that was +1 right there after the throw. Yeah.
All right. We activated on block, but the V reversal gets out, V shift out after the fact, and the scramble situation meant that SpaceBoy did not get as much out of it as he wanted to. Jump back, jab, anti-air. SpaceBoy has the life lead. Ooh!
All tied
controlling the space with the air EX fireball.
Yeah, I think that was like the first jump attack at Poison, and it landed, but that was after basically a round and a half of not jumping forward.
Right. I mean, SpaceBoy is very clearly making this a very grounded game. Oh no, if only we had the low forward confirms.
Alright, nice forward dash. iDom is being, like, basically chauffeured into the corner with just good walk speed.
Right. Oh, the jump over. Has to spin the EX bar to avoid the possibility of a big anti-air there. Okay, elbow all the way through the screen. I'm sorry, neutral is overrated. iDom back against the corner. With these Crutch Fierces, we've got trigger loaded on deck. There could be huge damage at any point. Calling out the homie.
Oh, she's dead. Oh, he's not doing the right combo. She's still dead. Oh, he didn't do that.
Oh, safe jump though. That's fine. We take those. First game up here for SpaceBoy after literally spending 70 seconds of the first game just establishing that he is comfortable walking and taking his time.
Yeah, like, there, I see why SpaceBoy, after the Roundhouse Ender, didn't do the EX Fireball to get the extra damage. Because probably was like, nah, it's not gonna kill. There is a max damage that he didn't go for. There, that would have definitely killed. All right, but anyways, and
yeah, we're still
like neutral. Oh, I'm sorry. Say what you were saying.
No, I was gonna say it's just the amount of life that SpaceBoy has to surrender just to get in and try to walk iDom back to the corner here.
Yeah, I feel that's the kind of match it is, though, because like Akira doesn't really keep up with poison in the buttons department.
But now we are at the corner.
Yeah, once Akira gets you to the corner, it doesn't matter what character you are.
Right, you can get this mix. Like she can play her game.
Everybody can get this mix equally.
Oh, I'm pretty sure you're dead. Yes, you are. That is an unfortunate timing to get caught with the standing short. iDom with a round on the board here in this game too. But decent amount of resources here on the side of SpaceBoy. Are we going to see? No. The amount of respect that iDom is giving for like mid-screen elbow or EX elbow, and the fact that SpaceBoy is really comfortable utilizing this great walk speed.
Yeah, like, the thing is though, oh yeah, and Bray hit confirm into the heavy elbow, gets a knockdown. Has the corner situation already too. iDom fights his way out of this. That button has surprisingly a lot of horizontal range. Punish.
Oh, the V-trigger activation. Oh, a crush counter and calling out the brother. That's actually a shame. Daigo completely whiffs. iDom is able to avoid the entire V-trigger.
Yeah, it was a misinput from Space where you're supposed to do medium elbow there.
All right, well, SpaceBoy might get another shot.
Actually, yeah, has trigger again.
Oh, spends the V-shift because he doesn't want to deal with the +2 situation. I respect the call because you don't want to deal with the mix-up that'll kill you.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I feel like your best path to victory at that point was a trigger activation and trying to cash out in one hit. And
yeah,
if you had weathered the storm of that 50-50, maybe you would have had the shot to make something happen.
I agree. Like, the thing is though, that mix-up, you didn't really have a DP to challenge the situation. And then like if you traded with your jab, well, which you probably wouldn't because iDom would press standing jab to 3-5.
Right.
Alright. Much like the other games of the set, SpaceBoy has the corner situation under control.
Yeah, it's just like, even though iDom is in the corner, it seems like it's so difficult for SpaceBoy to stay in that range 0. And SpaceBoy is using the walk speed so much, but he keeps risking walking far enough out that iDom is able to start hitting that crouching fierce and then moving forward himself.
Yes. Nice one.
Oh, we still trip guard, even though we used the fireball in the air to avoid landing on the anti-air. Wake up jab bravely from SpaceBoy, but iDom just dashing all the way back.
Yeah, not a lot of options left for SpaceBoy. Has already walked half screen. Call that Daigo, not a punish.
Oh, wow. Even the little pity damage, Daigo walks away, but the EX elbow gets SpaceBoy in. But once again, look at how much space SpaceBoy has to surrender when he wants when his turn is over. In order to have relative safety, you go all the way out, and it's Poison's turn again. The jump in gets anti-aired. iDom with another round.
Because like SpaceBoy was jumping so far away, and iDom understood that can't whiff this down medium punch, because if you whiff it, then there's a chance that SpaceBoy is gonna get a combo from it.
Right.
Picks the appropriate anti-air.
Right. Spins the EX bar to get through. This is one of the better situations that SpaceBoy has had at relatively full health. Goes for the super jump. Right down into this knockdown. Oh, we're cashing all the way out because we want the next hit to be stunned. There's the trigger activation. V reversal gets thrown from SpaceBoy.
The V reversal gets thrown.
All right, and now you're in the corner against iDom's throw game. This is tough. It's sitting fully loaded though. Oh, if we activate, no, we want to activate on the next hit, or maybe to make a mix-up happen, I suppose.
Yeah, and yeah, spent the bar on it. SpaceBoy doesn't have a trigger available, so possibly a trigger on block into a mix-up. No, can do it.
Oh,
I see.
What did that hit? Did the Daigo activation scare iDom? Oh, I see.
Yeah, because iDom has been backdashing away from the Daigo activation to get away from, just blocking. That was a good pickup on the habit. That's gonna get punished.
Right.
-5.
Uh-oh. Crush Gunner. iDom sitting on a bunch of resources here. There's the V-trigger activation.
Right. Yeah, iDom has activated the trigger. Has basically all the resources one could ever want with Poison.
And he's so obstinate on that crouch fierce.
And iDom basically just whittling down space. What is it?
Yeah. That's dead. We're going to game 4. iDom up 2-1 here over SpaceBoy.
Right before the super hit, a little burn damage happened during the combo. Like a minuscule amount of burn damage happened right before the super hit.
But it made a difference.
It definitely made a difference.
The Molotov is... I know they nerfed the damage on that, but like it still does so much.
Damage is still damage.
Yeah, and that V-trigger does... I mean... Think about the number of times there was someone at our local that used to call out every time Urian lived by a hair, because it was like, remember when they gave him 25 health? He should be dead.
I mean, you know what though? I don't want to call out things like that, because everybody got more health, basically, almost everybody. Like that's an unfair thing to call out, because your character benefited from that as well.
Yeah. Oh, a big jump in here from SpaceBoy.
Alright. Attack from iDom. SpaceBoy in a really good spot. He's gonna backdash. No, hard knockdown. What's the mix? Left, right? Yep. Gotta take the throw. Yep.
I love, like, now that you've called it out, I see it too. And the fact that SpaceBoy is so thoroughly blowing up this habit from iDom. And that V-trigger is, like, one of the most interesting things about what Akira has, right? And if iDom's counterplay to it is already being exposed like that,
well, here's what's funny about it too. What SpaceBoy doing? He's calling it out from really far away, right? If iDom backdashes, the elbow is gonna beat it, right? Stop. Hold on a second. Hold on.
All right, we got this corner pressure here. iDom has to deal with the mix, gets thrown a second time. Wake up jab this time as SpaceBoy tries to go in. A lot of this fake pressure is getting checked. iDom with plenty of health. There's going to be the trigger activation, but we don't want to finish up after the fact. Instead, we want to go for some plus frames. Burns the V reversal.
All right. Oh yeah.
All right.
Look back at the screen. Right. Has a good amount of resources. Could probably still take this round.
Right, spending the bar on the plus frames, has to go for the backdash to SpaceBoy, who has overwhelmingly been going for the V reversal in that context.
And you know, classically how it's been going on in the match anyways. SpaceBoy has been walking iDom down to the corner.
Right.
This is gonna be a can go for not going for the max damage. Really good damage either way. Stun? Oh, doesn't go for the stun, goes for the tries to go for
No, gets caught overextending. That's straight into the CA here from iDom. This is gonna give iDom the life lead. How's SpaceBoy gonna respond?
I don't know.
With Wake Up EX straight away.
You know what though? I feel like I would have went for the stun. But I know why. I understand why he didn't go for the stun, because it would have guaranteed the win. But now iDom is such a commanding spot.
Yeah, I mean, you can maybe eat one limb depending on what it is, but you will have only so many resources. You're presumably not going to get another big brother.
At least not in time.
The clock is going down too.
Like that anymore. Oh no!
Oh, that's huge. iDom going to take the throw, but now iDom at the life deficit. Only a couple of seconds left on the clock. Closes out the round. Wow. SpaceBoy finding the little bit of hesitation in iDom's defense, the tendency towards just eating the throw in those spots, earns him the round, and we're at 2-2.
Yep. Like, and that EX elbow came. It's such a good move. -2 on block, really fast. Puts you at a spacing that you can't really throw her. Yeah, like such a strong tool. And it came into play. Oh, clean jump in a little bit too far.
Big jump in, but a little bit too far away. I feel like that's kept happening here for SpaceBoy on this character.
I agree.
I feel like he keeps being just a little bit too far.
Yeah, completely. Oh, we're gonna have to deal with this. It's gonna be reversal. I agree, because you're so close to the corner anyways. You want to keep the advantage.
Oh, that big crush counter should close out this round, assuming iDom finishes his plate, which he will, and we are back on tournament point iDom. But SpaceBoy going into this next round, sitting on a little bit of meter here, which he's been using really well to try to navigate through the neutral. An explosive round start, and iDom already back at the corner. It's taken us a little bit I feel like every round, SpaceBoy is getting a little bit faster at pushing iDom into the corner.
I think so too. Like, I mean, that's gonna happen in a long set like this. All right, gets a crush counter. Oh, but tries to bait out something from iDom. Gets thrown for a trouble. Has to be reversal, just to not lose any more health. iDom's so on point with the anti-airs.
Right.
Oh, walks out of that. Gonna activate on block. Okay, gets the doesn't get the hard knockdown. Yeah, that was oh wait.
Daigo nullified. Oh, we went for a standing reset?
No, he messed up. He messed up V skill.
Oh, that's a real shame. But I mean, I think SpaceBoy can still get this round. Just you need like a big CA confirm, and you need to navigate through this. There's more than enough time on the clock to do it. We saw this happen in the last round, our last game already, but clipped with the crouch fierce trying to move forward. iDom is going to take it in a real close 3-2.
That's not gonna happen. Not gonna be able to make that comeback. And that was an unfortunate drop of the V skill, because that standing medium punch, that was definitely V skill launcher into an air combo into probably CA in that. And with that little bit amount of life, I don't think it would have killed. But she's a below average health character. She doesn't have 1,000. All right, so maybe it might have killed off of that.
Maybe it would have been close, and like if absolutely nothing else, it was the path to what you wanted, right? Like it was what he needed. But to go off of that drop, I think really what it comes down to is we kept seeing it. The character was maybe 80-85% of the way there. Just not completely. I mean, his spacing is so immaculate on his Sakura, and you can see that like the precision on the ranges is just ever so slightly not there. But I feel like once it is, that character is going to be a monster in SpaceBoy's hands.
Yeah, like I mean, slight drops here and there, slight combo choices that could have been better that would have got the kill, and maybe even decisions on like, oh, he's a pixel away from stun. You know what? Let me get a little bit greedy here to get the one hit stun into death, right?
Right.
Which worked. To be honest with you, it was the right play. You know,
Yeah.
it was the optimal play, but it didn't work against iDom. It gave iDom one more shot at it.
Yeah, it's tough, right? Like I'm historically very okay with the idea of trying to high roll what you get out of the stun, especially if you need to still deal a lot of damage, right? Because it's not like if you don't get the stun is immediately gone, right? Like, I guess if they get right and they spend the V reversal, it puts their stun down. But even then, it's like one more combo gets them right back to where they were, and it costs them a V gauge. So economically, it still works out decently. But if it's in the clutch, if you don't have a lot of life, maybe you don't always have the opportunity to try to go for that high roll. So with that, iDom takes the first of our returning East Coast Throwdown community throwdown events, once again partnered with Facebook Gaming. We also have our Guilty Gear Strive top 4 coming at you tonight after a short break. We have Hotachi versus Razzo up in the winners finals. Waiting in losers semis is Bean versus Flash Metroid, and that is coming back at you guys in just a couple of minutes after we take this short break. But keep it locked here to East Coast Throwdown, and you won't miss any of this great action.
See you in a couple, guys.